How's it going, everybody? I am Jason of Jason's Realm here, and today I am here bringing you guys our official Week 10 Power Rankings. Now, before we jump into this, if you're new around here, smash like, smash subscribe. Helps the channel out a whole lot, tells us we're doing something right, and it also allows us to come closer to 200 subscribers, which is when we will be releasing a public Discord server. So, fun little thing there. But I guess without further ado, we'll just jump right into this. So at number 10, we have the New York Giants, falling one spot from last week. And, I mean, just looking at how things went with them last week, I don't even think they didn't play last week. But everyone else ahead of them just did well, and did really well enough to the point that we had to drop them. That's about all we could say about them. At number 9, we have the Seattle Seahawks moving up one spot with a win over the Cardinals in a tight game, but they did continue their roll. So they ended up just keep on cruising to victory. And if they can keep doing that throughout the next couple weeks, they'll be looking really good going into the playoffs, especially in that NFC West. At number 8, we have the Miami Dolphins falling one spot after beating the Bears. I was debating on this, but it was purely because they lost by 3 points to the Bears, and our number 7 pulled off a big upset. That's why we had to make that flip. But yeah, the Dolphins looking good, undefeated with Tua, doing their thing. And they're going to see if they can continue this roll into next week. Maybe they can. Up next at number 7, we have the New York Jets pulling off a massive upset of the Buffalo Bills. And that's why we raised them up one spot. Because you don't just pull off a big upset like that and don't rise up. So, the Jets playing really well, really good. They're really putting a lot of trust in their defense. The offense is getting the job done to what they need to. Especially with that young receiving core. And they are looking like a real playoff contender. And the Jets coin remains undefeated too. At number 6, we have the Dallas Cowboys. What did they do this week? I don't even remember if they played. They didn't even play this week. So nothing we could say much about them. But I was debating even moving them down, but I opted to keep them because I do think they are the better team than the Jets and the Dolphins. And I just think that at this point they're going to be in the race for playoffs. Whether they do make noise, I don't know. They always say it's our year, but it never is their year. So we'll have to see what happens as we get closer to the playoffs. At number 5, we have the Baltimore Ravens holding their spot from last week as well. Even though they destroyed the Saints, the other teams ahead of them won, except for one team that we could not drop that far. And the Ravens playing some real good football. They're playing some quality football. They should be in the playoff picture easily as we go down the line. And up next, I guess we'll go to number 4. At number 4, we have the Minnesota Vikings holding their spot from last week with a victory over the Commanders. I mean, I could have probably flipped the Vikings and the Ravens, but opted not to. Because the Vikings have a young core, Justin Jefferson doing his thing, adding TJ Hawkinson, who was a strong playmaker last week. We'll have to see if they can keep that groove going as they go into the rest of the season and they try to clinch a playoff spot, potentially being the first team to clinch it here in a couple weeks with that NFC North. At number 3, we have the Buffalo Bills falling 2 spots from number 1. And the Bills losing to the Jets, which already dropped them a spot or 2. But then you also have Josh Allen dealing with a UCL injury that they're evaluating him for. That could be a huge loss for the Bills if they lose him going forward. So that's why we have them a little bit lower because of that injury to Josh Allen. Now, it amounts to nothing. Next week, they'll probably be up at number 2. But as it stands, they're number 3. At number 2, we have the Kansas City Chiefs moving up one spot from their position last week. Chiefs have been doing their thing. beating the Titans, I should say, in overtime on Sunday Night Football. And they're just, doing their thing, just cruising to victories. And they're just going to dominate that division. The AFC West is the Chiefs to lose. So, they're not going to lose it anytime soon. And lastly, at number 1, we have the Philadelphia Eagles finally taking that number 1 spot, rising 1 spot from last week. Now, the Eagles could have gone either way because they really did look awful against the Texans. But if they lose this week, they're going to be free falling. I can almost guarantee you that because they're playing the Commanders and they should win that game. But I'm not as confident as that they will just because of how they performed last week. So we'll see what they do going forward. And that's it with our power rankings. That's our top 10. Like I said earlier in the video, smash like, smash subscribe, all that fun stuff. And also let us know in the comments, what are your power rankings? We are very interested to hear what you guys have to say. Who do you think might have been too high, too low? Who should have been on? Who shouldn't have been on? Just let us know. And I guess with that, we'll see you guys later. Peace out and have a good one.